Morning, everybody. CW here. I want to do a quick VR to Hobbies Hobo. I just caught a video that he did on his little Skeeter's conversions. It's a little bitty shell-looking adapter that lets you shoot sub gauges, meaning smaller gauges, in say a 12 gauge shotgun. So if you got a 20 gauge shells and you got one of these converters, you drop it in, you shoot 20 gauge shells. Works for 28 gauge, works for 16 gauge, works for 410 gauge. And it's just a matter of throwing a little bitty adapter in there that kind of looks like a shell. I'm sorry, I don't have any here handy, but it looks just like a shell. It drops right in the chamber, thunk, and it works fine. And they really work really well because the functionality of a choke system, you know, in a shotgun is just a matter of changing the diameter, changing the exit diameter at the muzzle. So a 410 shell doesn't know if it goes down a 12 gauge shell, a 12 gauge barrel, a 10 gauge barrel, a 20 gauge barrel. It has no clue. All it knows is that's the constraints that it can reach as it goes down the barrel. And then it goes down the barrel and then it reaches the constriction, so it makes it smaller. It makes the choke. So a choke system in a 12 gauge still works when you shoot the 410 or a 20 or a 16 or a 28. So that's the beauty of these adapters in shotguns, and they work really best in single shots and side by sides, or over unders. They don't work so great, really don't work at all in a pump or an auto, because they want to eject the whole thing and it just fouls the system up. But in a single shot or a double barrel, they're awesome. And the reason for the VR is, number one, to support my buddy, but number two, to key on what he had there and show you something else. This is a Savage 410er. It's a 410 insert for a 12 gauge to let you shoot 410 shells in a 12 gauge. So here's a 410 shell, goes right in. It even has an extractor, and that works with the extractor in your gun. So let's get rid of shells here, make us safe. So we got no ammunition. Let's show you how this works. This is a 12 gauge, okay? It happens to have screw-in chokes. This is a really classic one. This is one of my favorites. This is an old timer, H&R 1900. And let's put this in it. It's got an O-ring down at the end here to center it up in the barrel. So when you put it in, it's going to seem like it don't want to go. That's the O-ring. And then you just line this extractor up with the center of the extractor in the gun, just like you see here, and slide it in. You see what it did there? See it? The extractor of the gun has caught the extractor on the adapter. And then the whole thing goes right back into the gun. Oh, I got it upside down. Whole thing goes right back into the gun. And this, of course, is a takedown. So this is an easy one. That goes in there. This turns around. I got it a little bit crooked because I'm upside down and backwards. The joys of doing a video. There we go. So that goes in there and that goes in there. And there we go. So you open this up. And now we have a 410 shotgun that'll shoot 410 shells using the choke system and shooting just as good as it would have if it was a real 410. So just a really quick video on the Savage 410er. Works just like the little Skeeter that Mikey just showed you. God bless everybody. Hope you have a great day. CW out.